What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a little DIY action on this stock air duct. You want to explain to the viewers what we're doing right now, Jacob?
Yeah, so from the USDM cars, they have this opening right here, and it just pretty much allows the air to pass through here, so when it goes in through the grill, it doesn't direct to the intake. So we're going to block that off. We already drilled a couple holes right here. We might open this up a little bit more, but pretty much if we block this off, then all of the air that goes in through the grill is just going to be redirected and go straight to the intake. So it'll just be a little bit more optimized airflow.
Perfect. And what material are we using today?
Probably just this little thin sheet metal. I think I got this at Hardware or like Home Depot or something for about like, I don't know, a couple bucks.
Right on. And I personally don't know if there's any like, scientific backing to see if this will actually help out, but I think it'll be a really cool project to work on. So this is what we got going on today. All right, site guys, change of plans. We're going with a different idea. Do you want to explain to them what your thinking is now, Jacob?
Yeah, so it would be kind of hard to bend that aluminum, even though it's pretty soft to contour to this. But I do have this fiberglass and a bunch of spare fiberglass. So we're gonna actually just play around with that. Right now I'm setting up a little mold type thing. So this is just gonna be kind of a back setting for the fiberglass to go over. And then I use a little bit of polyester resin, and it should just go over this really easily. And then we'll take the tape off before we reinstall it.
Perfect. So I honestly do not know what's really going on, but Jacob's gonna show me the ropes and we'll see how this project goes from here. So we swapped over the fiberglass just because it'll be easier to work with than the aluminum. You want to explain to them what we're working on right now, Jacob?
Yeah, so we already set up this, just kind of a generic little like mold surface for this using some like packaging tape. But then I'm just gonna cut some little fiberglass mesh right here, and then we'll use a little bit of chop strand mat as well. We'll just use a little bit of resin and just nice on for
Hell yeah. So what's this step, Jacob?
We're just mixing up some resin.
So this is the epoxy resin and that's the hardener?
Yes, sir. Just has to be about 50-50.
Got it.
Not too much because it's the first coat.
Right.
Now, just gonna pretty much paint this on.
So that'll let it stick to the mold, and then after that, once we get all the layers on, we can just pop it off.
Pretty much.
Fire.
Gotta let it cure for a little bit.
Got it.
This epoxy hardens pretty fast, so
okay.
You should be good.
So what's that?
This one's the chop strand mat. It's just standard fiberglass.
Right.
The other one was kind of more of a fabric. And this one, really easy to build. You can kind of just snip little bits of it.
Epoxy master Jacob. So thanks to Jacob's handiwork, the first layer is complete. We are gonna go get some lunch and let this dry for a few hours, and then we'll check in on it. So we just got back from lunch, and this is how it looks right now. The layer on top is a lot, I would say, like, I guess harder, thicker, stronger than it was before when the epoxy was on there, because now the epoxy's dried, so it's created that, I guess, nice layer over it. Currently prepping the next layer that's going on there. So yeah. So we've essentially got the final layer on there. Jacob went around and touched up some areas like the corners that needed a little more work on it. But this is how it looks as of right now. What the next step is we're gonna let it cure overnight and then see how it is tomorrow. So it's been a day, we've let it cure and it's looking pretty damn nice. You wanna explain to them what we're gonna do next, Jacob?
Yeah, to recap, I took it off the mold this morning. It was pretty easy. We just, with packaging tape, was able to kind of just lift it up, use a little spatula to get it underneath. Trimmed up a little bit just because the fiberglass, like the little individual shreds, when they cure, it's kind of sharp. It's like little needles. So I just trimmed off that just for safety. But now we're probably gonna take like this, which is about 1 inch, and we're gonna want a kind of a barrier or a border around all of this edge so that we have a nice flange to mount it to. We're probably gonna use some rivets and 3M tape. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and mark this up and then just draw it out with a Sharpie and cut it all off.
Sounds good. So you heard the man, that's what we're gonna do. As soon as we do that, we'll update you guys on the progress. So I just finished using these scissors and I trimmed as much as we could up to where Jacob had marked, and it's looking pretty good. It was a little tough to cut just because the epoxy had hardened, but we were able to get it done. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand it all down and make it look good. Damn, this thing fits perfectly on here. So we have some epoxy right here. Jacob's just filling up some of the gap to better help, what's it called? Seal it?
Yeah, it's sealing the laminate.
Right on.
Just because this was a wet layup and it wasn't perfect, so it's gonna help fill in those little voids and just add a little extra layer of reinforcement.
So it's a new day. Jacob went ahead and filled this with body filler. We just wiped it down with alcohol. Now what we're gonna do is use a primer over there.
This stuff?
Yes, sir. And then we just bought this can of VHT Wrinkle Plus as well for the finish. So we're almost there. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. When we mocked it up with Air Duct's piece, it went on really well. So as soon as we finish this up, it should be just about another day or so just to let it dry and everything. We'll go ahead and show you guys how it looks. So Jacob just finished this single coat of primer and it's dried on pretty nice. Now we're just gonna hit it with this VHT Wrinkle Plus. We're gonna do a first base coat, so it'll just be light and then add it on after that. From what Jacob has read on the bottle, it takes a bit for the wrinkle finish to show up. So after it dries up, we'll go ahead and see how the finish is on it. So we left it overnight to cure and this is how it turned out. Jacob also sprayed the inside with a little bit of black, but I'm loving this wrinkle black finish. Let me put it out in the sun. It looks really nice and just gives this piece that nice, hardy, tough look that it has to it. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is mark it up to put some rivets through it so we can mount it up to our air duct. We just finished putting in all of the rivets and she's looking real sturdy on here, guys. So we had 6, we have 1, 3 on, oh no, we have 7. There's 4 on the bottom and 3 on the top. Here's how it looks from the outside. It looks pretty fucking good. What do you think, Jacob?
You did a pretty good job. You learned a good amount.
Hell yeah.
Success.
So now that our block off plate is in place, we're just cutting out the holes on this side just to open up for a little more airflow. Now that we've cut these holes out, we're just gonna take a file this down, smooth it out, and make it look nice. So the piece is in, and it's looking real good. We also drilled out these holes right here. Here's how it looks. And it's looking real good, guys. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions. But other than that, peace out, and I'll catch you guys next time.